It's a pleasure and an honor to march with you today. Today we march on behalf of science and the importance of science for good, for ourselves and our planet. I'm especially honored to welcome a student from Miss Hall's school. And you will be introducing yourself, Anna. You'll say your name. Okay, so here is our student address.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna. I'm 17, from Vietnam, and currently a high school junior at Miss Hall's school in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. So, why is science important in my life? Science has only been defined as a branch of knowledge according to dictionaries, which is not enough. Science is more than just a word or a term. Science, to me, is a long path that helps trace back to the origin of life and our own human civilization. The history that tracks our development and the most logical explanations that provide us with reasons for our existence on Earth. Not only that, science also contributes an immense part as a base construction that allow other fields and majors to thrive. Science is the idea of skepticism. The sport that requires interested individuals to keep a doubtful attitude and a questioning mind. I was born and raised in a male-dominated country, Vietnam, where women are trained to keep their mouths closed and accept what they are being told. I don't know if this has changed recently, but growing up, I was one of them. I was discouraged by older family members from enjoying mathematics, STEAMs, robotics, physics, biology, environmental science, chemistry, and the list goes on and on. My mother's favorite song of Science is for Boys, Humanities is for Girls implanted its roots inside my head, along with my crumbling self-confidence. And I'm not even a genius at mathematics. Exploring scientific matters. Being able to ask the mysterious and interesting questions of how and why was not an easy task for me. Science is love. Science is passion. Science is an adventure. Science is bringing positive changes and solutions to maintain the only planet that we together as brothers and sisters call home. We are the ones who need to be willing to make that change, are making that change, and will make many more changes to come. I do believe that not only me, myself, but anyone, regardless of gender, age, job, or religion, is capable of making this world a better place now, and even better in the future. So, if you are here today, you know that global warming is not a hoax, it's a fact. If you're here today, you are a scientist, a future prospective scientist, a problem solver, and a science enthusiast. If you're here today, you will promise yourself to tackle issues, be a catalyst for innovation. If you are here today, you will help inspire others around you and stand up for science. And if you're here today, I hope that you will agree to not stay silent. We can use our voices to raise awareness and be role models for our family members and younger generations to appreciate how science impacts our lives. And lastly, I want to say thank you for everyone who showed up here today for the March for Science, and a special thanks to my Miss Hall's friends and Miss Hall's faculty members. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. That was fantastic and inspiring. I hope someday soon you'll send me your essay again as you've polished a little bit, and let me share it with others in the written form, because I think people are going to want to read it over and over again. If we could just hear from our partners, it's not enough to march. As Anna has suggested, it's a dedication to the good that science can do for our communities. And I'd like to hear from each one of our partners about how you might want to take some steps after you march today.
Hi everybody, it's so great to see everyone today, and thank you to the Great Barrington Land Conservancy for inviting us. My name is Lindsey Berkowitz, and I direct the Young Women in Science program at Flying Cloud Institute. So you're probably wondering, what's Flying Cloud Institute? Well, it's many different things, but mostly it's a space for learners, educators, people to recognize that everyone is a scientist. If you wonder, if you question, if you think, if you observe, you're a scientist. So join us, volunteer, bring your love for questioning, for critical thinking, and for problem solving to the next generation. And if you are the next generation, come join us. Play, learn, experience science through an artistic lens, and have an experience that you'll never forget. So thanks again for coming. Pass it down the line.
Thank you for having us here. I'm Alison Dixon. I work for the Housatonic Valley Association, Berkshire Outreach Manager. And we have all kinds of volunteer opportunities for you to join us on the river, from just getting in for a day for river cleanup and pulling out the trash. We do that in concert with Berkshire Environmental Action Team twice a year up in Pittsfield and other places too. And you might just want to collect water samples. We're testing water quality in the Southwest Branch this year and Wacona Falls Brook. Both are impaired with high levels of bacteria. We're trying to identify where that bacteria is coming in and try and get it resolved and get these wonderful resources taken off the impaired list. You might want to get right in the river and map storm drain outfalls. There's a number of communities we're doing that in with Hoosick River Watershed Association and Berkshire Environmental Action Team, trying to identify where those outfalls are and see if there are some that should be fixed because maybe there's illicit connections. Maybe you just want to come out and paddle on the river. You can pick up a paddling guide and join us for a free paddle trip and just appreciate the resource that the Housatonic River is. Lots to choose from.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Cushing. I'm the director for Mass Audubon here in Berkshire County, and I can't imagine a more important thing than what we're doing right now, standing here together, standing up for science and talking about its importance. Mass Audubon is a science-based organization. Our roots are in advocacy. We were founded by women in the late 1800s before they had the right to vote, and they wanted to put the end to the slaughter of birds for the fashion industry. They went up against a lot of power, they went up against the odds, they went up against a lot of money. And I think there are a lot of parallels to what we're trying to do right now. We need to make our voices heard. So I'm just going to mention two things that I want you to do after today to keep this conversation going and to stay engaged. One is here locally. Mass Audubon has Berkshire Wildlife Sanctuaries throughout the county. Pleasant Valley Wildlife Sanctuary in Lenox is hosting a volunteer day next Saturday morning. So we want you to come, roll up your sleeves, work alongside us, and get the sanctuary ready for the upcoming season. We'll feed you a pizza lunch. If you can't make that, the next week we'll be at Canoe Meadows Wildlife Sanctuary in Pittsfield. So we hope you'll come by the sanctuaries and learn more about the work that we're doing. The other thing I want to talk about is Mass Audubon, I said, is an advocacy organization. We have an office on Beacon Hill. We work really hard to support priority environmental legislation. And one way that you can stay engaged, because we're all bombarded by a lot of information, is to sign up for our weekly advocacy e-newsletter. It's called the Beacon Hill Weekly Roundup. And the most important aspect of that e-newsletter that you'll get in your inbox every week is the action you can take this week. We tell you in really simple ways, it'll take 5 minutes or less, the action that you can take each week to support science and environmental legislation. So thanks so much for being here today, and I can't wait to keep working alongside you to support science.
Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth Orenstein. I'm the Education and Outreach Director, or Coordinator for the Berkshire Environmental Action Team. I'm so honored to be here up alongside these amazing women and activists. I'm so glad to be here with you today. I want to tell you a little bit about what we do at BEAT. We have 3 arms of our programming. We have education and outreach, which is what I do. We have watchdogging, and we have stewardship. Elia Delmolino, right next to me, is our stewardship manager, and he does wonderful things from stormwater testing with Alison to invasive species removal in Burbank Park to river cleanup. So if you're interested in getting out and getting dirty and pulling up some invasive green kiwi out of Burbank Park, it's really fun and it's not very hard and it's good exercise. If you're interested in learning some more and just being with your community of environmentalists in the Berkshires, we host Pittsfield Green Drinks on the 3rd Tuesday of the month at J. Allen's. It's coming up this coming Tuesday. I'm going to be talking about wildflowers. So if you're interested about wildflowers in the spring in the Berkshires, you can come learn about those. And if you're interested in getting out and advocating against fossil fuels and for alternatives that are feasible and actual and available to us right now, you can check out our No Frat Gas in Mass website. You can talk to Rose Wessel. She's our director. She's amazing. And you can come next Saturday after you go clean up Pleasant Valley. You can come to our 2018 Berkshire Earth Expo, which is at the Stationery Factory in Dalton. It's going to be an amazing time. We have a spotlight conversation with Ben Downing, the former state senator, not the restaurant owner, and Chris Ruttman from Western Mass Labor Action, and Jane Wynn, our director, is going to moderate. We have presentations with people like Charlie Eisman, who wrote the book on insect track and sign. Did you know that was a thing? That's a thing. And John Atwood, who's the head of conservation with Mass Audubon. We have good food and good music and amazing art. So I encourage you to come and learn what you can do there and not burn so many fossil fuels. And if you're interested, I have business cards. You can check out our website, thebeatnews.org, BEAT as in Berkshire Environmental Action Team. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone. Yep.
Step up.
Yeah. Hi everyone, Elia Delmolino here. I work for the Berkshire Environmental Action Team, Green Acres. I'm on the board of the Great Barrington Land Conservancy and the board of the New England Wildlife Trackers Conference. Yeah. And I also work on the Riverwalk with an apprentice, Jake. I think he went back with a cone, but give a big round of applause for Jake. Yeah, Jake, wherever you are. So I just have one thing I want to say, and that's next week on Saturday, we're going to be back on the Riverwalk doing an Earth Day cleanup, and I would love to see any of your smiling faces there to help us out do it. We've got a number of projects, and it would be terrific to have many hands. Many hands makes light work, so thank you very much.
And finally, from the Great Barrington Land Conservancy, one more possibility for your participation. We're happy to host the Riverwalk cleanup, but also on April 29th, please join us at Lake Mansfield. It's our spring cleanup and family fun day. We will be exploring the forest, we will be planting a pollinator garden, and we will have our task force members there to talk to you about our lake improvement plan, a 10-year-old endeavor to bring real clean water and positive habitat change to Lake Mansfield. So people, before you go on, would you please bring your bodies this way and look at Main Street so we can capture that you're here today? Thank you. Come on up, and we have an opportunity just for it's a photo op, basically.
Use the stairs.
Come on up on the stairs here. Yeah, you guys have to stand right in the front. Okay. Go on in, Richard. Everybody needs to get in there. Thank you. Hi, guys. Come in and be in the picture. Good.
Everybody.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. There's room on the hillside.
Make sure we can see you. Make sure we can see you.
Come on down here. There's a nice spot right there. How we doing? Wow, look at these signs. This is amazing.
Christine.
Fantastic.
Christine, you get
I'll
in.
get in. Okay.
Right? And yeah, perfect. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Okay.